Hey guys, and welcome back. My name is James, and today I'm going to be reviewing two blades from Chartermade, the replacement blade for the Indispensable knife by Vergez Blanchard, as well as this Skiver, which are, I have to say, frankly, amazing blades. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what these blades are for, and I'm going to give you my honest feedback after nearly a year of use of these blades. If you're looking to pick one of these blades up, all I can say is do let me know in the comments below what you think of this video and of these blades, and if indeed this video has helped you decide whether or not Chartermade is the way to go for you. Now, before I can actually explain to you why the Chartermade blades are so great, the first thing I want to talk about is the Indispensable by Vergez Blanchard. When I started out my journey in leathercraft, I kept reading forums and hearing people say how amazing Vergez Blanchard were in terms of cutting steel and knives in general. And I quickly decided this was the knife I needed, and I spent about 6 months, if not a year, thinking, A, what the hell, and B, why isn't it cutting anything? And it's just simply down to the quality of the steel used for the blade. Now, I'm not going to say the quality of the blade is shit. I could, but I won't, because it's not that bad, really. It does need sharpening pretty much all the time, but it works. It's not amazing, but it works. The reason this knife in particular is such an amazing knife is because the blade actually doesn't start here and stop here. It goes all through the knife, as you can see. And you've got two little screws which you can unscrew to be able to either move the blade around if you want it slightly longer or slightly shorter, closer or further away to your fingers, to whatever. But most importantly, you can take the blade out, sharpen it, or just throw it in the bin. It's the sharpening part that I thought was especially clever at first, because indeed, with this specific knife you do need to sharpen it a lot. And it quickly got me thinking, are there any alternative blades I could replace it with? Now, just to demonstrate how easy it is to change the blade, this is all you'd need to do, and indeed this is not necessarily done to change the blade, more to sharpen it, but you just unscrew those slightly and the whole blade system comes out. So you're left with the Indispensable outer case, which is a gorgeous little thing made out of brass and patina's gorgeously in time. It's got a nice weight to it. It's quite small, so you can really get a nice grip on it, and it's very, very practical for so many different cuts in this leatherworking industry or craft or whatever you want to call it. But this is when my relationship with Chartermade started. I'd been following them on Instagram for a very long time because indeed Chartermade has an amazing quality of work, and he really does have some gorgeous knives up there. Knives that are definitely for the professionals, definitely for people who are looking for the more qualitative knives out there and the best tools they can find. And I had always followed his work very closely and was always drooling over the quality of his knives. When you receive the blade, it comes in this lovely little paper pouch with the logo on it, and it comes sellotaped to this backing piece of paper with an extra piece of sellotape on the tip because it does come razor sharp out of the box. It really is amazingly sharp out of the box. Talking of sharpness, it's very easy to keep this one sharp. Bear in mind, all the knives on his site come with either a right or a left-sided bevel, and this is for you to decide if you want the bevel on the cutting side or on the outside of your cut. Makes no difference to me, and I'm sure that you guys will have your own preferences, but the reason he does that is to make it so that the actual blade itself is much, much sharper. The angle of the blade, the angle of the cutting surface here is much, much sharper, and it definitely is very easy to sharpen. All you need to do, in my case at least, is just drop it every time I use it, very briefly, and then I'm good to go. This blade not only sharpens beautifully, but really does retain that edge sharpness which we need in this craft. Now, I'll show you this blade in a second in use, but before that I want to quickly discuss its big brother, which is this one. Now, this is very different. The first one is more like a scalpel blade, X-Acto knife, or whatever you want to call it, precision knife. This one is very much a skiver. And I had issues skiving in the past. I've tried lots of different options and I've never been able to skive properly until I had this. Why has skiving become much, much easier, or at least why has this knife made my skiving that much better? Simply put, it's the quality of the steel. Just like the Vergez Blanchard Indispensable Replaceable Blade that I got from him, this steel is stupidly sharp out of the box, and certainly remains stupidly sharp with some very light stropping from time to time. The craftsmanship on this is gorgeous. The handle fits perfectly. It's got some gorgeous curves that fit really well in my hand. It's a great size for so many different applications. I can use it to cut, and I can use it to skive. I can use it for a lot of different things, for my corners. I really do love this knife. It is my pride possession right now amongst all my tools, and I certainly do like to take care of it. When you get the knife, it comes in this little box with some very nice funky little instructions, as well as something that I find very cool indeed is a little piece of leather with the logo on. But I think it's a really cool little addition to this kit, and certainly just with this, if you're stropping your knife before and after every single use, just a couple of passes, it really takes seconds if that, you really can keep your knife exceptionally sharp without using any other device to sharpen it. I haven't ever used a stone on my knife yet. I've been using it for nearly a year, as I mentioned, on all my projects, and this is pretty much all I need every single time I need to sharpen my knife. And actually I've been using this one for both the Skiver as well as the Indispensable knife. To show you guys how well these cut, I have two pieces of leather here, one which is about 1.2mm thick and the other which is about 2.4mm thick, and yeah, hopefully this will give you a nice idea of how they cut. As mentioned, before I do any work, however, I do like to go ahead and just very quickly strop these tools. Now bear in mind that I strop before and after every single one of my projects, so these should be already fairly sharp, if not razor sharp. Let's have a quick test here just to see how we're doing. Oh yeah, okay, so that is definitely razor sharp. Okay, so I'm happy. This is the thick leather here. Let's go ahead and strop this one. And yeah, this is pretty much all the stropping I do before every single job and at the end of every single job. So about 6, maybe 10 passes on each side. And that is more than sufficient in my experience to keep these razor sharp. Let's test this one again. Yep, stupidly sharp. Okay, let's see how thin I can skive down here. This is cutting through so easily already. Having sharp knives makes such a big difference, and that definitely was one of the things that was holding me back in my skiving. Oh, a bit too much, a bit too enthusiastic there, but that's okay. And of course, the nice thing about this is that you can be very precise in your cuts, but if you take your time and you want to be precise, you most certainly can be. Yep, there we go. I am very happy with these. And just to make sure that that edge can't be messed up by anything, I have made myself a small, simple little sheath here, which certainly helps keep that edge basically very protected, and also means that when I'm touching the knife, I am not going to be cutting myself on anything very razor sharp. So as you have seen, I am a fan of these blades. I really find that the quality is just top notch. The cutting power of this, as you've seen, is also really superior to anything else I've got so far, and definitely worth the replacement to the Vergez Blanchard blade that was in the original Indispensable knife. That being said, many of you might wonder about the price, which is high compared to other blades on the market. All these blades are made by hand to a rigorous standard, and definitely if they're all as good as the copies that I've had, it's an investment that is well worth the money. Is it for everyone though? Probably not. If you're new to leathercraft, these really are premium quality tools that probably won't make a huge difference to your work early on in this craft. However, if you've been in the craft for some time now and looking to invest in really top-notch tools and hesitating between 2 or 3 different brands, this could be your next tool. Indeed, this is not a tool for amateurs. This is a tool for people who know what they're doing, and certainly the price is the result of that. This is a tool that is made to very high standards for people who are looking for the absolute best. And if you're looking to treat yourself, I can only say go for it.